I have goodies. I've been shopping all week and all day today. It's Saturday, a week after our last video talking about getting all the grinding done. So I told you I was going to buy wood and fiberglass and resin. Well, it took me all week to locate everything, and I finally finished up today picking everything up. But I've got, I think, enough to get me started. I'm not sure quite if I've got enough, but you know, I'm sure somebody will pipe up and say whether I do or not. So let's see what we got. Alrighty. Right there we have my new custom built fiberglass dispenser. It's actually missing one roll, which is right there, and it's on order. I do have it. It's coming, but it'll probably be here Tuesday or Wednesday. I won't need it for a while. That's the 1708. That is a full roll of chop strand mat, which I'm going to use for waterproofing the underside and the the stringers before they go in, just as a kind of a preliminary cover. And then I've got a full roll of 1708 that'll go on that next bar. All I did was just take some 2x4s and make basically an H holder, and I notched places for this little pipe to go in. I happen to have some half-inch conduit left over, and it works great. So whenever I need to pull stuff off, I just pull it and it rolls off. So like I said, I think I'll be able to get away with not having to do anything else. So I've got my 1708, which will be for structure, and then this is just for basically waterproofing and kind of building. You go in between layups. And then of course I've got 15 gallons of poly resin. This is just standard everyday poly resin. It's brand new stuff, so it's good to go. I got lots of mixing cups and chip brushes. You can never have enough chip brushes. I got me a refill for my 3M respirator. I've got me some really good quality scissors. My other scissors died. I can't stress enough how good scissors to get. I mean, you can get fiberglass scissors, but this is good enough. It's about 15 bucks. Lots of latex gloves. There's 100 count. PL adhesive. We all know what that's for. That's for bedding the stringers, gluing the transom in. Actually, I did the math. These big 28 ounce tubes are more economical to buy them this way and then spend the 20 bucks for the bigger caulk gun than to get the same amount of small ones in your the 10 ounce versions. So if you're using a lot, which I am, and I started with 6 of them, so that's a lot. I'm hoping that'll cover me. Then I've got a few of the bigger mixing pails. Gosh, I've got a big thing of rags there. I've got 2 gallons of acetone. I know I'll need more, but this place where I bought them, this acetone was more expensive than what Home Depot was. I think I paid $1 more, so I only ordered 2. I got me some 1/4-inch chop fibers, which I know I'll need more, but this is all they had. And I've also got some fumed silica, and that's the Cavasil. So I don't know, I'll probably need more than this. I just, you wouldn't want to buy a whole bunch and not be able to take it back, so I figured I'd buy a little bit. If I had to go back, I'll go back. So I also got me a 6-inch fiberglass roller and a corner roller. And I think that ought to do it. Plus I've got a little 6-inch standard paintbrush type roller like this that I can actually roll out onto the resin onto the wood to waterproof it. Gosh, I think that's, stir sticks. You can never have enough. Lowe's was being chintzy today. I'll sneak in and steal some more in the next couple of days. That's every time I go in, which I go in at least 10 times a week, I'll steal 5 or 6 of them, just keep going. I've got my 2x2s, which are going to be on the top of my stringers where they come up. They're on the top, so that way they add a good spot for the deck to attach to. Let me see. I think that's everything from here. And then we turn over here, and we have all my wood. The pink stuff is for my patterns. I figured I got 3 sheets of it. Cost me about 25 bucks for 3 sheets of 1/2 inch. And so this mimics my stringers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use this as my pattern for my transom and my stringers, so that way I can mess this stuff up. Oh, also the deck. I can mess this stuff up instead of the expensive plywood. What I did is I got 6 sheets of 1/2 inch BC plywood, and it's exterior grade, and you can see really good quality wood. Not a whole lot of knots. There are a few voids, but you know what? Unless you're going to spend the money on marine, I just don't see the point in it. I really don't. There was not marine in this thing before. It lasted 15 years, and it probably would last a whole lot more. It looks like a face right there, doesn't it? it'll last a whole lot more if somebody had taken care of it. And I'm going to waterproof this really good. It's going to be encased in fiberglass, so I'm not really worried. So I got one sheet of 3/4 for my 2 layers of my transom. And to be honest with you, when I was laying it out and looking at the back of the boat, I think I'm going to need to get one more sheet because I don't think I'm going to be able to get 2. There's going to be a whole lot of waste, but you know, that's part of it. Then I got 6 sheets of 1/2 inch to do stringers and stuff, and I think I'll probably need to go back and get some more. But that's all they had left that was actually good that I could pick through to do the deck. So this will at least get me going, get the stringers in, get the transom done, and we can go, you know, get that at least taken care of. And if I have to go back to get some more, I will. So that's it for now, I think. Gosh, trying to think what else I bought. Oh, well, I'm looking at about $1,600 is what I've spent so far on just this stuff. And I'll probably end up having to spend $500 to $800 more, I can guarantee you, because you always need more. Yeah, that may look like a lot of resin, but trust me, that chop strand mat just soaks it up. So that's it for today. It's almost 5 o'clock on Saturday, and we've got some dinner plans, so I really didn't get to do much on the boat today. So tomorrow I'll get the transom measured and cut out, hopefully, and get the 2 pieces glued together, get them drying, and that way I can work on it a little bit at time during the week. So that's it. Talk to you soon. Okay, let me give you guys a crash course on how to, I guess, reverse trace a bottom of a hull. What you do is you get the width of your transom, which is from side to side, either way right there. So that's my complete width of my transom. And I'm using pink stuff just because it's easy to, if you screw it up, it's no big deal, it's $8. So what I did is you take a stake or a broomstick or something like that, and you tape a Sharpie to the top. And then what you do is you cut, like I said, you cut your deal to the width of your transom, you drop it in there, and it's going to go straight across. It's not going to sit all the way down inside the hull. So you're going to have a big gap between the bottom, oh, here goes the thing, the bottom of the pink stuff and the hull. And then what you do is you drag this along the hull, and then what it does is it follows the hull and traces it exactly. Now, I'm not going to actually cut the transom to mimic that just perfectly. I'm just going to come straight across with it, and then we're actually going to peanut butter fillet, whatever you want to call it, in the strakes all the way across. So I'm going to cut that and then put it into the boat, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll reverse, or actually I'll stick my pin behind there and trace the back of it for that for the hump and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going to do as it blows over again. Okay, you can see I've got this thing rough cut in here all the way across. What I kept doing is I kept cutting little more at a time, just until it fit perfectly in my little opening right here. So now I can push it up against here, and I can actually take my Sharpie and trace the contour back here onto the back of my foam, and then I can cut it to shape. And then that's what we'll use for cutting the wood for the transom. Let me back up a little bit, see if I can get a better picture. See? So all I gotta do is cut the top of it off. And you see how I'm gonna have to use some peanut butter in those areas, and I actually will trim that back just a little bit so that way we got the same amount. That's a good thing about using the pink stuff, is now we can figure out where our problems are and where we need to kind of nip and tuck. And that way when we cut the wood, we don't have to. Tell you another thing I found kind of disturbing. I'm gonna have to fix it. Alright, you see that's the keel. You can see daylight through it. So I'm gonna have to put a couple, 3 layers of 1708 on that before we go back out, because that's not good at all. That's from beaching your boat. So if anybody beaches their boats a lot on rough areas, that's what you're looking at. So anyway, that's where we are so far. I'm gonna go see if I can get this done before dinner time, and that way we can get some transom wood cut tomorrow. Alright guys, that's how you trim a transom template in less than 30 minutes. That's all it took me. You see how I cut the relief down there for my hole? The original transom did not go all the way to the bottom down there, and I'm going to try to replicate that with some, what do you call it, thickened peanut butter and sanding and stuff like that, you know, once it's all said and done. But yeah, there you go. You've got, that's one of the first templates, so I'm going to cut one that's all the way side to side, and then I'm going to cut another one that probably goes from about that strake up and over to create the second layer, so I don't have to make two gigantic big old pieces. It's called a step transom, I do believe. And we'll glue them all together. I bet you we can do that tomorrow. And I've heard the fourth call for dinner, so I've got to go.